Live, and I never quite believe it will happen, but we are live. Excellent. Hello, Temima. Thank you for joining us. How
Hello,
are you?
Sarah. I am good, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay, we made it happen. So, I have a lot of people that joined today from your email list, which is amazing, which is a tribute to the power of sending out emails. I have this little ticker going across the screen, which I am going to stop soon, but it's just to remind people that are watching us live that I use this software called Ecamm, and you have the same thing when you use StreamYard and other streaming services to Facebook, that in order to interact with the broadcast, so that I can see your name, you just need to click on the permission link in the post, which is, this ecamm.live slash there's a link in the post to click on really quickly. It takes like 2 seconds, and then instead of you coming up as Facebook user, I will be able to see who is here and who is commenting. Okay, so what are you drinking? I'm having a tea.
Soda stream.
Mm, nice. So, introduce yourself to the group for anyone who hasn't met you yet.
Sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Temima Gas. I am the founder of Uncommon Strategy. I live in Israel. I'm a mom of three kids. I didn't kind of prepare a bio. Should I introduce my personal side, my work side, or it's all kind of one
Both,
big
bit
mush,
of both
right?
is good. Yeah.
So I help business owners choose the tech that works for their business and implement it with a VIP setup day. And I say I help with all tech, specifically for course creators and coaches, but I really love email marketing. It's really, I just, I love the tech of it. I love the strategy of it. You kind of can't have tech without strategy, which is why my business is called Uncommon Strategy, because you can't just set up the
Oh.
tech in a vacuum. You have to have the strategy behind it. And I've convinced so many people to start email marketing, and I've gotten so many people to start using it. It's just such a passion of mine, and I'm so happy to come in here to talk about it because you should all be using it.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that I was always aware that I needed for my business. I knew that I needed to sort out SEO. I knew that I needed some kind of like, I've just set up Dubsado, like what would we call that? It's got a
CRM.
fancy name. CRM, thank you.
CRM.
And I was always aware of the fact that I needed to sort out my mailing list. And I stopped and started for so many years with it until I finally got it going. And you're on my list. You noticed
Mhm.
when I stopped emailing for like a week. Um, and I just wonder why do you think it is that it very often gets put to the back burner?
Because it's not cool. It's not, it doesn't get all the attention. Everyone's like social media, social media, social media. It's like you mentioned SEO. That's also like the unglamorous
Mm,
sister of email marketing, where it's like people think in their head that it's this hard thing, it's this time consuming thing. It's something that it doesn't really work very much in the 21st century. We're past email. I think that's all those kind of reasons kind of together.
yeah, I heard that a lot actually. It was like email is dead, no one checks their email. It's absolute garbage. And I very often, and I'm aware of the fact that not everyone consumes like I do, but the way that I like to do things is if I find, for example, like a company that I like, I will go follow them on Instagram, but I also will subscribe to their mailing list so that I don't forget that they exist. And if they have some special offers, I want to hear from them. So I will like particularly go and seek them out and see if they have a mailing list. I mean,
Wow.
that's because I want them in my inbox. Because following them on Instagram is one thing, but I follow thousands of people, so
Right.
I might forget what they're called.
Right.
Whereas if
Yeah.
they're going to
And
land in my
the
box,
algorithm with Instagram, you're gonna see some posts, you're not gonna see other posts. Email, if you're checking your email and it's not going to spam, you're gonna see it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, what did I want to ask you about? You had some statistics for us about email marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's this famous 2015 report, and I forget who actually put it out. Email Monitor, something like that. I could go and come back and pop it in the chats later when I find it. But they found, and this was in 2015, and it's probably increased since then. The average return of interest for per $1 spent on email marketing is $38, meaning that I don't know what percentage that is, but that means that for every $1 you spend in email marketing, you'll get nearly $40 back. This was mainly for e-commerce, like
Okay.
stores,
I was
rather
going to say, how
than
are they gauging that? But right, actual
right. It was
physical
mainly
product.
for e-commerce rather than service providers. I would say the return on interest for service providers is probably lower. But on the other hand, if you're selling a higher ticket product, for example, coaching, and you get one client from coaching for a $6,000 product, that's a pretty, one client from your email list, that's a pretty good return of investment.
Yeah,
Because emails, we'll talk about this soon, but emails should never take you more than 20 minutes to half an hour to write. So, so it's really the return on interest, the return on investment, I mean, is really much better than social media. And I should have brought with me the statistics for social media return on investment, but it's significantly less, especially if you're going into ads, significantly lower than
right.
38 to 1.
I think
Another fun
a lot of,
statistic. Mhm.
sorry, go on. Give me another one.
Yeah, this is a really fun one, actually. So there's this thing called the click-through rate, or the CTR. That's how many people click on a link that you present to them. So on Facebook, it's something like 0.07%, the click-through rate.
Wow.
On email, the average is 2.5%.
Right.
So that's like a huge difference. People are going to their email to look for things, to learn things, to find things, as opposed to they're going to social media to be entertained, and they might happen to click on your ad, and then they might happen to buy something.
Right.
But it's much less. It's much more purposeful in email, so the click through rate tends to be higher as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people worry about, and it's really funny when you think about it. They're like, I don't want to have a mailing list, or they like people say newsletter, and I think we need to stop saying newsletter because we're not sending out. I mean, once in a while there's some news, and the news is that I have an offer that I want you to buy, right? That's really what the news is. Um, but so it's first of all, you don't have to call it a newsletter. It's a mailing list. It's like you're my people that want to be on my list, to like be in my world, to like under like for me, I would say sign up to my mailing list to hear like my latest kind of rants and rambles, and
I
things that
love
I've
those.
discovered, and tips for how to like run a business when you're doing it by yourself, and mental health challenges and all those kind of things. So I find that the people that sign up, they want that. And yeah, I hear people saying, "Oh, I don't want to do a newsletter because I don't want to get on people's nerves." And it's like spammy and annoying. So I'm
Right.
assuming that you hear that a lot.
Yes, yes, that's like one of the biggest objections. And there, people tell me I hate when I get all these newsletters in my inbox. So why should I go and do it to other people? Like that's what I like the biggest objection I get. And my answer to that is even if you hate majority of the emails that come to your inbox, I bet there are a few that you open every single time because you like what they have to say, you
Yes.
resonate with them, you find their content valuable, you learn from them, whatever it is that you like opening their emails, they're just entertaining. Um, you're opening their emails. So you're going to have, if you start an email list, you're going to have that core group of people who open your emails and read your emails no matter what you send. And you'll have people unsubscribe as well. That is normal, and actually that's good because that opens up space for more people to come onto your list. It's not a personal thing for you to unsubscribe from other people's lists, and it's not personal if someone unsubscribes from your
Right,
list. The
that's why
point
I
is,
say like unsubscribe, like the same way you would manage your news feed and either snooze or unfollow or unfriend people that don't serve you, that make you feel bad about
mhm,
yourself, that bore you. Do the same with your email. Exactly the same. You
100%.
don't have to have someone in your inbox that's getting on your nerves. Just hit the unsubscribe button, like
Yeah,
with pleasure. And there are some companies that make it really difficult, which is really, really irritating. So it's really important to make sure that it's really easy for people to unsubscribe.
yeah.
Which mailing programs do you recommend using?
I recommend first and foremost MailerLite.
Oh, that's what I use.
That's
Yay.
yeah, that's Mailer LITE. I have like a little bit of hesitation still, like recommending them with as much enthusiasm as I used to because they've changed recently. They built a whole new platform, and
Mm.
I'm not thrilled with all the changes they've made. And I just really hope they're not going in the way of Mailchimp. Mailchimp used to be a
Why
really
would you
good
do
platform.
that? Oh, I see. You mean the way the MailChimp changed. Right.
Yeah, yeah. MailChimp used to be a great platform and they were like the platform for beginners. And then they've gotten worse and worse and worse. And I cannot recommend them in good conscience anymore. And I'm just
Right.
a little worried, but as of now, MailerLite is still my number one choice. Um, if you have like a lot of, first of all, if you're doing like e-commerce, like selling products, I recommend Klaviyo. I think that's how they pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
Klaviyo.
Yeah.
I think it's pronounced Klaviyo, but I'm not 100% sure. They have like a funny way of pronouncing it. Um,
Are you a
so that
fan
is
of
really great for
Flowdesk?
e-commerce. What?
Are you a fan of Flowdesk?
No.
No.
I
Tell
think
me why.
Flowdesk was a great concept when they launched, but they never got out of beta. It's been like 3, 4 years, maybe even 5 years already.
Oh.
And they're just not advancing enough. They don't have enough features for like what they've promised. They started with like a huge splash and it was like really sounded very promising, but they never really lived up to their promise.
Oh,
So
okay, that makes me feel better
um,
because I signed up for MailerLite, I got everything established, and then I discovered Flowdesk. I'm like, oh my God, this is so stunning. This is so beautiful. I
yeah,
want my emails to look like this.
so Flowdesk has gorgeous emails, but you can spot a Flowdesk email a mile away. I've never
Yes,
seen an original Flowdesk email. So you can
very
make
true.
MailerLite emails beautiful also. Not it's a little bit harder, but you could definitely make them beautiful if that's the kind of email you want. Personally, I like using plain text. Um, I just not plain text. It's actually called rich text because it has formatting, but I just like using text, maybe a logo at the top and image of myself, the photo of myself at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like it's the most friendly. It's as if I'm emailing a friend, as
Yeah.
opposed to this whole like Target-esque email with like all like the
Yes.
colors and
Right.
that's my personal preference.
Which is why I send gifts because I send gifts to my friends constantly. So it kind of like
Yeah.
it's in keeping with my personality. I'm very hot. Now, I wanted to ask you, something that when we were discussing what we were going to talk about, you touched upon something that I teach people a lot when I'm coaching Instagram, which is um, one of the main goals in social media needs to be to get like you connect with people on social media and then you get them onto your list.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
100%.
a lot of people miss that opportunity. Um, so yeah, let's talk about that. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm absolutely agree with that. I think social media is like the marketplace where you can meet tons and tons of people, but you want to make it more serious and like deepen that relationship. So yes, get them on your email list as soon as possible. Have an opt-in in your bio. I'm not a huge fan. Listen, you're the Instagram expert, so don't quote me on this. But I don't love the link in bio, the link tree thing where you
Right,
have
so
like a bunch of buttons.
I stopped using Linktree and I started using a company called Milkshake.
Mm-hmm,
Um, and what happens when you click the link in my bio, it takes you to what looks like a landing page. It looks like it's part of my website. It's amazing
mm-hmm,
and it's free. I don't even
nice.
know why I would upgrade to the paid version. And it's
Mm-hmm,
just so that when I say click the link in my bio, I used to have to change it the whole time. And someone could be reading a post from 4 days ago, but meanwhile I want to link to something else. So I can't keep changing it. So, and someone said to me, you mustn't have more than 4 links, otherwise people get distracted. Like we're all constantly
mm-hmm,
distracted anyway. Honestly, come on. I don't mind if someone mooches around my 7 different links and has a look at my YouTube channel and has a look at my prices and checks out a freebie because at the end of the day, all those 7 links all belong to me. Get on my mailing list, whatever, book a call. They're all still me. But
yeah.
I love the fact that like I would really recommend people check out Milkshake.
I'm gonna
You
go look at your
install it on your
Instagram
phone.
link after this.
Yeah, go and have a look, and
um,
it's done very beautifully. So, what's
yeah.
your objection to Linktree?
So I just don't. I just think that there should be one link. It goes to one place. So the way I have it right now is actually, well, actually, right now I'm participating in a bundle this week. So I do like to change my link based on what's going on in my business. Um, but in general, I would say during the quiet times, I either have a link to book a call with me or a link to my opt-in, like either one. But the main thing is to have a link to your opt-in in
Yes.
some way that people can get to. And then every now and then post like a straight up like call to action to join your list. Like
Right.
it has
Yes,
to
I
be
was going
like,
to say, like, you may feel like you've told people already, but that's the whole point of marketing is you have to keep repeating your
yeah,
message. Not everyone's seeing it. You may have three, four, whatever, however many thousand followers, but 60 people have seen the story where you posted about it. Plus,
right.
so many more people are seeing reels now. So you've posted it on your story and you posted it in your on your grid. You also have to post it. make a reel about it, which I haven't done
Yeah.
yet.
So definitely just mention it every now and then. I think that that kind of organic growth, people finding you through social media and getting on your list, is like the smallest portion of your email list growth, but it's definitely should be a big goal of your social media. It shouldn't just be to get people to buy your services. It should also be get people to deepen that relationship. Because once I'm in their inbox and on their social media algorithm, they'll see me in both places, and it will increase their awareness of me and their know, like, trust. That's really the whole goal of marketing,
Hmm.
is that you want them to know you want them to like you, and then you want them to trust you enough to with their money.
Right. And
So
it's not, and we were talking about like how to do this in a way that isn't sleazy. Um, and I personally don't feel sleazy having people join my mailing list because my mailing list is not all about like, I'm so amazing, you need to buy all my stuff. It's really just sharing a piece of me without having to do it on a social media platform that doesn't belong to me. And we all saw like the big panic of, oh my God, when was it? Last year? When we didn't
yeah,
have
with
WhatsApp or
December
Facebook or Instagram
overrunning.
for like
Yeah,
literally maybe 12 hours. And it was a big wake up call for people who are like, crap, I don't own any of that. Where are my people?
right. Yeah, exactly. That is the point of the email list, is that you own those email addresses. No one's getting, first of all, no one's getting rid of their email app. They might decide to
Yeah.
leave Facebook, they might decide to leave Instagram. No one's getting rid of email. It's still the primary method of business communication for sure. And I would argue to say personal too, personal communication. So um, no one's deleting that app. And so that's the first thing. And the second thing is you own those email addresses. As long as they don't unsubscribe, they're on your list. It's not like someone can just say, okay, your account is banned today, you're in Facebook jail.
Hmm.
You have your, and I do recommend always keeping a backup of your list as well. If something happens to the platform that you're using, let's say MailerLite goes down, which I've never experienced MailerLite going down, but it could happen. I think it happened back in like 2017 or something,
Oh my God, now you're making me panic. All
before I
right, I'm
started
gonna
using it.
download my list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely back it up every, quarter or so, just so
Wow.
that you have that backup, but it's still your list that you can own on your hard drive, as opposed to being, a bunch of followers in Facebook land, or Instagram land. Um, but and there was something else I wanted to say, and I don't remember what it
Well, we were
was.
talking about like
But
emailing in a way that feels natural.
yeah, yeah. So that is also like a big problem, a big objection to email marketing, especially if you say, I'm not a writer. I've never written before. I can't, how can I write a whole email? Um, my biggest piece of advice is to just be a human being, like just be a normal person who just wants the best
Yes.
for your followers.
Yes.
And imagine you're talking to your favorite customer. That's like was a piece of advice. I don't even remember who told it to me, unfortunately, but it was such an eye opener, because when I talk to my favorite customers, I talk to them in a way with that all my personality shines out. Because some customers, some clients I have when I work with them, they don't get my sense of humor, or they're just, whatever it is, they're difficult people to deal with, so they don't feel my full personality. But my favorite clients, who will like I become friends with because they're such good clients, like those are the people who get the full me. So when I have them in mind when I write an email, I'm just talking to them. That's all I'm doing. I'm sending them an email like, hey, I saw this and thought it was really helpful. I hope you enjoy it. So it's really like once you're putting your client front and center and being like, I'm just sending a message to them, I want to help them. And the emails become so effortless because you're just yourself. You never, yes, sometimes you do agonize over a business email. Like it does happen sometimes, but you're not like, oh my gosh, is this right? Emailing since we're like 12. So you can do it basically, is what I'm saying.
And you were saying there's a way to like do it like it's so easy that it can take you 20 minutes.
Yeah, as long as you know what you want to say. And what I like to do is I actually keep like a content bank for myself of
Yes.
questions that are asked to me that I think would make a good email. You can also repurpose any content that you've created elsewhere. So definitely, um,
Mm.
anything you post on social media, you might want to like add a few more words if you think it's too short, but you can definitely bring it over to any content that you already have, can make a excellent emails. So I just keep that content bank for myself. When I run out of ideas, I go through it, and then just write it. And if it takes you more than like 20 minutes, half an hour, you're overthinking
I think also we
it.
tend to think about it like in a
Really, to
vacuum.
your person, there is
Oh God, my connection is causing such a delay. Sorry, I'm talking over you. Go on. What happened?
no, you. It's me, I think.
Okay. Um, I was saying that we tend to think about email in a vacuum, but some of the emails that I get that I love, it'll be like a roundup of everything that's going on. I don't know if you subscribe to Helen Perry. She's amazing. And
No.
she'll talk about like, okay, there was this amazing article that this dude wrote about blah, and they put in a link, and this is what's going on in my world, and these are some thoughts that I'm having, and this is something that made me sad this week, and I'm feeling very overwhelmed by the online world. Like she'll just have a little bit of a brain vomit, but in a very orderly fashion. And then she'll also like, I made this reel about blah, go check that out, and link to the reel. And I'm like, what, why? Why am I not doing that? I know
Right.
that it's not in a vacuum and that I can take people from my email list and send them over to Instagram, and I can take them from Instagram and send them over to my email list. I very often forget. So I'm thinking I need to set up a template within MailerLite that just reminds me every time to do it,
Hmm.
which is what I'm going to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, that's actually a great idea. Like I have a monthly newsletter I started back in the beginning of January. I call it, it's different from my weekly emails. I call it the monthly tech up because it's like rhymes with check up. So like
Ah,
each,
like,
so it's like six things like TECHUP, and each one stands for something else. So like I have like the T is a tech tip, the E is like some kind of like funny entertainment that I've seen online, like a comic or whatever. And then the H is highlights, and that's what I where I like usually link to something I've done on social media. So um, that's like a very like it's not so much like word vomit like you like you were describing, because I do think about it throughout the month, like oh that would be really good for the monthly tech up, but it's still like it's a roundup post, and I've
yes.
gotten such great
That would be a
feedback on it.
nicer way to say it rather than vomit. It's a roundup.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So it's very structured, but it's good for me also because then it's one week that I don't have to think of content because I'm pretty much just have like the structure put into the
Right, and
email
but
already.
what you were saying about like having a bank, like I keep more or less, I do have ADHD, so I don't always like stick to my systems. Sometimes I break the rules, but I do have a content bank on Trello.
Hmm.
Most of the time, once I've written it, I always write it in Notes. I can't help myself. Notes is the most basic program, but that is where I write everything. And then I'll copy and paste it over to my content bank on Trello. And then I can see, in terms of repurposing, when was the last time I wrote? I feel like it was 5 seconds ago that I wrote about this, but actually it was 4 months ago. And I've got new followers since then, and people haven't heard it, and not everyone saw it, etc., etc. And I can see with people that I've been subscribed to their list for 3, 4 years, I can see that's exactly what they're doing. Like I can see like, oh, and I pay attention just, from a learning point of view. So I think, okay, actually I've read this before. Oh, what happened to our connection? Oh, I am on the wrong internet. Oh, what happened? We were doing so well, internet. Okay, so we were doing so well. Let me let you back in. Um, you are in the green room. I'm going to put you over here. Okay, so how much of that did you hear? Because my computer
I
connected
heard
to
you
a.
talking about your content bank, and Trello, and you reuse it when you realize that it's been a while since you've last.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and then my computer connected to a network downstairs that doesn't work. So that was great.
Oh wow.
I said there's someone that I have been following for a long time, and I can see that she's repurposing because I'm paying it. I'm paying very close attention. I'm sure most people aren't, but
Right.
I do like she's a client of mine, so I'm like, ah, I remember you saying that like 8 months ago, which is fine.
Right.
Like it's not
Yeah,
illegal.
because you're the only one who realizes.
Yeah. Um, talk to me about funnels? Because I don't think I have any, but maybe I do.
You're fine, basically. I am so anti the whole like you need a funnel thing.
Oh, thank God for that.
I think the whole funnel idea is like an overblown, it's just overblown. What's a funnel? Like think of that like shape, like the funnel shape. So we talked before about know, like, trust. And that's like the key in marketing and online business, especially when people don't get like that face-to-face feel. They must have know, like, trust before they buy from you. So a funnel is takes people from random strangers on the internet. That's like the highest, widest level where the most people are. And then it kind of narrows down to, let's say, social media followers and then email lists, because that's like a deeper relationship. And not everyone who follows you on social media will get onto your email list. And then super engaged email subscribers, and then clients. And not everyone will follow that same client journey. Some people will become super engaged straight from social media and become a client straight from social media, and that's fine. Or even from a
Yeah.
networking, however you're doing your marketing. But the point is that it kind of narrows down and gets narrower, narrower, narrower as you get down the funnel till like you have your clients, the people who are paying you. So that is in essence a funnel, but people like overcomplicate it, and you need special software, and you need like a
Oh
funnel
God.
builder. I mean, funnel strategists have their place. They're very good at writing the emails and setting up the sales pages that get people onto your list and staying on your list. But the whole thing has become so complicated in our minds that we're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing something wrong because I don't have a funnel.
I don't have a
No, you
funnel.
do. You do have a funnel. That's the whole thing. You
And
have
and
people
you know what? And the way that
meeting.
I think about my funnel is actually the other way around.
Hmm.
You know how like the traditional funnel, like it's like this, right? I actually think of it the other way around. I think you start narrow, you meet me in one place, right? And then it expands out as you realize that there are so many different other ways that you can find me or interact with me, learn from me, buy from
I
me,
love that so
whatever.
much. It's like it's a different perspective because you're coming at it from the client's perspective,
Yeah,
where they just meet you somewhere, whether it's online or in someone else's Facebook group, for example, something like that, and then they start following you everywhere, and they see all your awesome stuff, and they come to that know, like, and trust is in that super wide place at the bottom.
yeah.
So you're looking at the funnel from the client perspective, which I actually absolutely love. Most people look at it from like what I was saying, that the wide part at the top is all those people. Like it's looking at it from the provider's perspective to the clients, where you have the whole world of people and then you narrow it down to the people who actually buy from you. So, but I love that. That is so cool.
Good. Phew,
So
good
yeah, it's like the
catch.
inverted funnel. That's really cool. Um, but yeah, like basically any emails you're sending that are nurture emails. Are we freezing up again?
I can
No.
see you and I can hear you. How
Okay.
about me? Am I
Yeah, no,
frozen?
we're good now. Wait, it was just like a split second thing. Any nurture emails you're sending that are just showing value to your clients and letting them know about a service, it's all part of your funnel. That's really you can
Right.
think that you can think about it as a funnel, or you can just say, I'm completely putting funnels aside. I have sales pages, I have emails, I have social media call to
Yeah, like
actions,
touch
and
points.
that's it.
Like someone
Yeah.
once, I don't remember who, I'm sure lots of people use the word touch points, but I read it in one particular marketing book. I cannot even begin to describe how many marketing books I have. Can I move this to show my there? There's like a pile of them there that need to go up on the wall, but I have so many. So in one of them, it talked about touch points. Um, oh, is my internet gone down again? Oh my God. It talks about touch points like all the different places where people are going to experience
Mhm.
you. And I like that idea much more than this idea of funnels. Um, now, Tamima's face is now frozen on the screen. I had one more question I was going to ask. So I'm wondering what I should do now because I want to talk about lead magnets. Um, but I can't talk about it unless I get Tamima to unfreeze. So you might need to leave and come back, and we're going to talk about lead magnets. So whoever's watching, stick around. Ugh, the fun and games. It's usually me that freezes. Today it's Tamima's turn. Okay, let me let her back in. You'll hear a little ding dong in a second. Bear with me, people. See, don't worry when tech goes wrong. It happens to everyone. I always say I saw it happen to Oprah Winfrey once. So